What I want to talk about today is marketing in a digital world. So this is slightly different than digital marketing, because I didn't want to just say digital marketing because of one thing. So before I get started, let me just give you a little bit about myself. Like you said, after I graduated college, literally guys, after you guys graduated, how many of you are sophomores here? Juniors, seniors. They're all seniors? So you guys are all leaving in like what? This week, next week? You guys are literally, yeah. So I did the same thing. I knew I wanted to do it. I was at the time doing some freelance work. Then I said, look, I can't, send out a bill with my name on it. I'm going to go create a company. I'm going to create a corporation. So I did that. It called 1IMS. It really stands for Integrated Marketing Solution. At the time, there was a class called Integrated Marketing Communication. I'm like, this is what the world needs, and I'm going to go do it. So I did, and it's like Doctor said, it's been going really well. About a year ago, I began another business which is called ClickX, which is a platform, which is a software, completely software as a service. It's in the cloud. And what that does, I'll tell you at the end, is really a marketing intelligence platform. What we do is we assess all the different channels of marketing a business is doing, and then we try to find out what's working for them so they can put more money into the things that are working for them. So that's what ClickX does. So I don't want to take any more time. So why the topic of marketing in a digital world as opposed to digital marketing is because of this particular quote from Pepsi. He's the president. He said it in a conference in Orlando like last year. He basically said there's no such thing as digital marketing. There's marketing, most of which happens to be digital, right? So when our kids grow up, they're not going to know about traditional marketing, which we think is direct mail, yellow pages, and all that stuff, which I'll talk about. This was marketing then. Maybe when you were in grade school, this is what you saw. You saw a billboard ad. You're like, oh yeah, that's cool. I'm going to go, when you're doing a road trip or whatever, you see a billboard ad. You're like, okay, that's what we're going to do, because this is what all the marketers did. Because you can do a big old billboard ad, you can do a radio. Today, it's like this. So this is all trackable. This is everything about it. You want to know how many likes it has. We want to know how many fans we generated. We want to know what time of day is the best time to publish content on social, which particular channel depends on your business. So if you're B2B versus B2C, if you're educational, if you're in the manufacturing, every single industry has a different kind of way to market, all right? I told the guys in the front that I won't pick on them because you're sitting in the front row, so I'll be nice to them. I'm going to pick on all you guys in the back. Is that good? So that's what we do, and long story short, this is how we consume content. Am I right? I mean, I got stats about how much time all of us, 18 to 35, spend on Facebook. It's staggering. We literally live this. We don't even think it's marketing because every other post on Facebook is sponsored. Am I right? Do you guys see that? Yes. Every other post. That's because they know who you are. They know your age. They know what you like. They know where you are. There's like not another platform in the world that's better than Facebook to target today. So my parents, maybe your parents, this is how they were getting their information. They were getting their information from direct mail that gets sent to their home on their way to work. They're listening to radio. They had an old school TV that looks like this. They were getting cold called all the time from all kinds of people selling them credit cards and this and that, and they had newspaper to go to if they needed more information, and they had a big fat yellow page book. You guys ever use that? Yeah? I mean, I do still get them. I used to get them more when I lived in the city. Moved out of the city, and I might have to move back to the city because our job, our work is actually moving to downtown, and I don't want to have an hour-and-a-half commute, so we'll see if the yellow pages come back. But today, the way consumers are basically consuming information is completely different. Yesterday's playbook of putting a big ad in yellow pages, it's not going to get you any more phone calls. Do you guys believe that? It's not going to get you any more phone calls. But today, this is kind of how we consume and buy stuff. So here's one person. It's you right there. You basically are searching for something, you're looking at a blog, then you go into your social media channel, then you might interact with email content because you signed up for something, you're interacting with the sales team, and you get an email newsletter from marketing automation systems, then you're interacting with the marketing team, and then you have a sales conversation and you buy. That's how we do it. The buyer's journey, it's not like linear. I'm just going to walk into Best Buy and walk out with a TV. We're walking in, we're looking at reviews. We know what we're going to buy before we walk in. Do you agree? How many times do we have more information than the 18-year-old selling the TV? We're like, we know more about this TV and we know how much it's worth. I looked at all these different websites, and I know this is a good deal because Best Buy is having a sale before we even walk out with the TV. So this last person, social media, maybe watches a video, social media again, downloads an ebook, interacts with marketing department, wants to do the transaction online. Skip the salesperson. They don't even want to pick up the phone. They don't want to talk to anybody. They don't want any emails. So in that world, you guys have to learn how do you sell. You got to learn how do you market in that world. So basically, to kind of recap, our parents' age, they had the TV, and they were looking at consumer, whatever the magazine. They're just looking at consumer, don't even know what the magazine, Consumer Report. And they're looking at all the different details of which TV to buy, which washing machine is best. But over here, we're looking at Yelp review to figure out where we're going to go eat. Because you want to know who's got the best freaking wings. And you want to see pictures before you go there, right? And when you get there, you want to check in. Because you want to let your friends know that you just got the wings place. Agreed? That's the world we live in. So long story short, information is, there's abundance of information here. Because you don't really need to worry about going and picking out anything else. You Google it, it's right there. So basically, as a marketer today, and I hope that all of you would just really, really, really give some thought about pursuing digital marketing as a career, pursuing all kinds of different things I'm going to be talking about today, and figuring out whether or not you want to pick one particular area over another, but we live online. This is our life. We don't go online. When I was in high school, we had the 56K modem. Do you remember that? You got mail. Anybody here? Do you remember that? That's like the only audio, trademarked audio, or like there's two of them. That's one of them that's actually trademarked. The You Got Mail is actually trademarked. But we don't go online because that's what I had to do. I had to like hang up my phone line to be on Yahoo Messenger with my friends. But you don't need that anymore, right? We live online. So some of you are like this. You cannot be detached from your phone. Do you agree? Yes? There's actually a phobia. It's called Nomophobia. You guys know about this? No? Some of you actually have it. You don't know this. So you cannot be detached from your phone. It's called no mobile phone access. And if you actually take it away from you, you guys are going to freak out. Because that's how attached we are to our mobile phone. We would probably, if you're going to work or school, and halfway through, you forgot your backpack, you'll be like, I'm going straight. But if you forget your cell phone, you're going back. Do you agree? Right? Crap, I forgot my phone. Got to go back. I'm going to go get my phone. I'll be back. I'm going to be late, but I'm going to have my phone. So we're having today, an average American, over 160 times, we're checking our mails, we're checking Facebook, we're checking Instagram, we're double tapping the Instagram photos of our friends, wherever they went, right? My friend went to the beach. I'm going to double tap that, make sure that I know, that she knows that I know that she went there. So we're living basically in this age, which is like the most exciting thing, is you get what you want, when you want, right away. There's no need to wait, because if you order a cab, it'll be here. Not a cab, it's Uber. It'll be here in like 4 minutes, and you want to track this guy down. Who's got Amazon Prime here? Like, do you know, like you can get 2-hour shipment, like Prime Now? 2 hours, right? We need it now. And I think the 2-day regular shipping is too long. I don't want to wait 2 days. I want it now. That's the world we live in. Who knows about the Amazon dash buttons? This guy right here. What's your name? What's your name?
Paul.
Paul. So, do you have one of these?
No, but I've seen them.
Exactly. Anybody else here knew about the Amazon dash buttons? Oh, man. What's your name?
Wilson.
Wilson, what's your major?
Marketing.
Marketing, awesome. So product companies like Amazon and their marketing is like becoming one. There is no marketing. It's like blurred. Because that product is marketing. Because there's no marketing around the product. That product is marketing. So basically what you're seeing is a little Wi-Fi connected device, $4.99. You can get that for every brand, your Charmin, your Clorox, everything that you buy around the house. You just literally, you can do that in the app. If you probably go to Amazon app, you'll see that. Or you get the little device and you put it wherever you want. When you run out of stuff, you just push a button and it'll ship that to your house. No checkout, no credit card, no shipping selection. I know Amazon has like the fastest, most seamless checkout process. You don't even have to do that. You just push the button. So one of my colleagues was telling me what happens if your kid pushes the button 5 times. Gonna ship it to you 5 times. That's what's gonna happen. Doesn't even need to look for prices, doesn't care about the credit card. It'll probably charge any credit card that you have on file. That's happening across the board in our, right? So one of the things I want to talk about is this particular chart. This is from eMarketer, where the digital marketing spend is going. And let me know if I'm a little too fast because I have a lot of content. I'm super excited. I had a lot of espresso shots. You can ask Layla back there. I've had a full day. I know all about coming to class at 5:40. I used to work 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., regular job, and then eat dinner, drive to school, find parking, which was a disaster at Northeastern because you had to find parking because all the parking spots were taken, and get to class 5:40. That's what I used to do, so I know all about this. So trust me, I feel you. I've been in your shoes before, and I would love for you to just stretch it out and get comfortable. So this chart shows you where digital is spent. I actually made this into a graph. So I just want you to pay attention. This was 2014 up to 2020. That's obviously a projection. All the money is being spent on mobile. Do you see that? 19 billion to 77 billion. So if you guys need any assurance that all you're going to get jobs after you graduate in about a week, I assure you, you will get jobs. But you got to be really good at the stuff we're going to talk about. Really, really good. And video, from about 2 billion to 8 billion, because that's digital video, but specifically mobile. So I kind of made it into a chart. So this is TV that is relevant for you. This is how TV is growing based on that eMarketer study. This is mobile ads and mobile video. Why is mobile ads so big? Because we're all on it. We're on it 24/7. In fact, we're on it within 15 minutes of waking up. Did you know that? I woke up this morning because somebody called me. I was like, who's this guy? But I needed to give somebody a ride. But usually I'm on it too. I'm like looking at all the stuff that happened when I was sleeping. All the stuff that happened, because there's so many stuff happening. So because we know this is the world we live in, we know we want everything now. And I wanted to really give you guys some kind of a roadmap, because who's working in marketing already today? Anybody have a job that's somewhat marketing? What do you do?
Well, my family runs a business and we have a website, so we tend to add products to the website and also send newsletters to our customers and tell them what sales are we having and everything.
It's e-commerce?
Yeah, Shopify.
Shopify. Who else works in marketing? Love it.
Oh yeah, no, I do. Well, it's my internship right now, but
Awesome.
with Matsu America Corp, I work in their parts marketing department. So it's mostly just working with pricing and building marketing materials for customers.
Like sell sheets and stuff like that?
Quick reference sheets and stuff like that for machines.
What about you?
I work as an online merchandiser.
Awesome. Awesome. I didn't get you guys' name, by the way.
Oh, Tommy.
Awesome, Tommy.
Meryl.
Meryl, thank you. So I wanted to give you guys a roadmap. So let's just say all of you are going to go into an internship, going to go into a real job. And I want you to be really, really prepped. Think of it like a crash course, okay? That's what I really want to do. So today's world, the thing that I live in, and I spend basically my every waking hour, is something like this. So what marketers have to understand that is that landscape that we're talking about is changing, and we all need a cohesive strategy. And what I would love for you to, as far as takeaway, is to find out which one of these things that you really like. Where do you want to focus your attention on? But some of you have to be generalists, because it depends on your job and your role. You're going to have to know all of this. But some of us, you can actually be experts in 1 or 2 things and figure out what that thing that it is interesting to you, and that's how you're going to get the money that I showed you. The billions and billions of dollars is being spent today by big companies, small companies. It's all revolving around it. And one of the things that you have to do is make your website, the content, the Shopify site and your site all have to be the hub of all the information that's flowing. So basically, you got to figure out how do you generate more traffic and convert that traffic into contacts and nurture those contacts and figure out how you're going to sell to those contacts that you basically just got their information. How do you sell to them and provide value and then actually make them buy your product? That's the hard part, all right? So what I'm talking about is you got paid campaigns, and we'll talk about what paid campaigns. You got social campaigns, you got video content, you have content marketing. Some of you may not be familiar with all these terms, but I'll help you out. There's building authority, blogs, which everybody probably knows by now. Email campaigns, you're probably doing emails, you said, right? You're sending out the sales. SEO, who's familiar with SEO in here? Yes, you actually do it.
I've done it for a little bit.
That's all, was it a job or a personal site?
No, personal site.
Excellent, excellent. So actually getting down and tweaking the code to make the site more search friendly, that's what SEOs actually have to do on a day in and day out. Figure out, how do I make my site get more traffic? You look at Google Analytics, you look at any other analytics and figure out where's my organic traffic and how do I generate more traffic without paying a dime. I'm not paying anybody, I'm just gonna create content and I wanna get more traffic. It sounds easier than it really is until you start doing and you realize, oh my goodness, it's not that easy, all right? So as a, can I give you, like I said, I give you really detail into specific things that you can go home with, but you have to understand where do you want to be, and some of you may just want to be a generalist, which is fine, but you have a lot of learning to do. You can't just be a generalist and not know everything about everything, because you have to know all the different intricate, all the moving parts, from building a website all the way to actually generating revenue on the other side. You guys excited? Right? Because if you can show more revenue, I promise you can walk into your boss and say, I need more money. They're going to ask you why. Why do you feel that you need more money? Because I made you X dollar of money. Like I made you this much money. I contributed to your bottom line being 20% more, 30% more. It's my strategy. I did it. I studied. Do you agree? Right? Rather than say, I'm just going to do X, Y, Z, I'll be comfortable with X. I want to actually help you guys get those kind of jobs that are actually, it's the reason why we're going downtown, because our office is in the suburbs. It's because of talent. It's scarce. I can't find people. My problem is not, I want to hire, but they're not where I'm at. So I have to go downtown, Michigan Avenue and Wacker, put an office there, and I have a recruiter who's trying to find talent who's actually fit. But it's not just somebody, it's people that actually are practitioners in the stuff that I'm talking about. So you got to have your, you got to get started somewhere, but there is a lack of talent because everybody good already has a job, right? So we look at students, we have a 3-month program, internship program, we develop them, we see if they're good, and we help them out. I mean, there's tons of stuff I can tell you about that, but these are the things that you actually have to do. So I just talked a lot about mobile, and that's like the first thing I want to touch on. Is mobile first. I told you, we consume so much time on mobile device, so this is like our website. We have to tweak everything about the website for just mobile. How does it render on a mobile device? How does it load on a mobile device? So people give you 3 seconds to have this website load. Some of you, if you actually have work, go check your websites on your mobile device, and if it doesn't look good, there's your first opportunity to start tweaking, because that's where your consumers are going to be. So I looked at so many different accounts that over the years, like we had like 20% of traffic coming from mobile. It's B2C brands, B2B brands. Next year, it's like 30%, 40%, 50%. Year over year, it's like doubling. Just traffic from mobile. And some of these websites have a lot of content. The photos don't load. They had Flash. Everybody remember Flash? No? Nobody remembers Flash, right? It doesn't work on iPhone. So you have to remember how to actually make your website work on mobile. So mobile first is the first thing. And I just told you about Facebook ads. All of the revenue from Facebook came from mobile, because the blue line is desktop. It's flat line. But the revenue from mobile is the only thing that's going up. So if we weren't all consuming, and it's all those sponsored posts I told you about, if we weren't tapping on it, if you weren't clicking on it, Facebook isn't making any money. And Facebook's revenue, you can go listen to the calls, you can go look at their P&L. The way they're making money is all of us consuming the content on mobile. How many of us watch videos on Facebook? Right? Isn't like everything inside Facebook videos now? So what does that mean for marketers? I have a whole section on video. What does that mean for marketers? Anybody? I mean, yeah. Engaging video. Because we skip right over it, right? You're like, that guy's boring. We can just go right past that one. Oh, this seems fun. We're going to watch it and share it with our friends. Correct? We're doing it, but we don't even know we're doing it. And that's how Facebook's making money. All right. So again, with social, like I said, I don't need to talk to millennials about social. I think we know this. I think you guys know more about social than me. Okay. I'll just talk about the revenue spent on social. We got $16 billion in ads. Again, I just focus on the ad spend because I can't tell you how much money is spent on organic. Organic is just, organic reach has been going down. I don't know if you guys know that. If you just post something on Facebook as your brand and you don't promote it, how many people do you really think it's going to see that? Basically nobody, right? Organic reach is just not there. So you have to spend money to promote the content that you're trying to promote. And so in 2014, it was only $16 billion being spent. In 2017, it's $35 billion spent. You know why they have to spend so much money to promote? Anybody want to guess? I wish I had some money in my wallet. I would give money out right now. Because I think that's what it's going to take. Why do you think they have to spend so much money? There's a lot going on in the marketplace. There's no wrong answers.
Competition.
Competition is a good one. Who said that? Anybody else? Come on.
Quality. You want better content, better quality content?
You want to reach more people maybe?
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else?
It's hard to differentiate your products with products.
Good. What's your name?
Rabia?
Rabia. Okay. Anybody else? All right. It's attention. Nobody's got the attention anymore, so I got to pound it in your face. Sorry, I know you came in late. I'm picking on you now. You got to pound it in your face because nobody's watching it, right? I got to get my message out. Like he said, what was your name?
Wilson.
Wilson has a promotion and he wants to sell more stuff on Shopify. Just by posting it, like I said, my job is to generate revenue for people. My platform helps them generate revenue. So if I can't generate revenue, how long do you think I'll be really employed? Right? What'd you say?
Yep.
Not too long, exactly. You were going to say something? So if my job is to generate revenue, I have to figure out how do I get my message out to the right people. And I told you I have all the targeting in the world. Facebook is the only platform that is social. We got friends on it. It's local. You could check in and check out. You could leave reviews on places. And I could target based on all the things that you do and you like and who your friends are and how many friends you have, which brand you like, what are your things that you like to do. So I have to find the people that are likely to buy and I have to measure them and I got to show all the way down to the revenue because that's how it would work. So that's one of the things. So if, again, one of you want to go become a social media guru after this session, right? I know is there a class? There's no class on social yet. There is a class. How many of you taken that class? How did you like that class?
Well, I think it's very interesting and really relevant to what's going on in the real world here since we're living in the information era. So it taught me the basic principles of how to reach people, engage them, and promote your business. Very similar to this class.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not on social today and if you're a nonprofit, you're not going to make any money, I'll tell you. If you're not on social and you're a B2B company and you don't have any idea how you're going to reach those audience, you could even target people that work at IBM. If I was trying to sell to IBM, I would put ads on Facebook, target the people that work at IBM. You're smiling. Does that mean you know this hack? Okay, all right, well, you can go do that. If you're not going to reach the right people. I mean, LinkedIn's a great place to target because you know their job title. I have clients that are in very specific industries that I couldn't get their information in Facebook because they work for maybe a boring industry. So I got to go to LinkedIn, find people that work in such and such industry, and I got to find the title of people that I'm targeting and then show them an ad and see if they would bite. Do you get it? And if they don't bite, it's not them, it's me. So I got to go back, put my thinking caps on, come up with a different offer, and can I try that at them? Do you guys get it? It's literally trial and error. There's nothing else. Everything is changing. So Facebook ads changing, the platform's changing. They have mobile ads, they have Instagram ads, they have leads ad, they have video ads. So they're not going to give me 6 months to figure it out. I have 6 months to figure it out myself. And that's it. So video. This is the priority that I saw this study off of Content Marketing Institute, everybody wants to make visual content. I understand. I don't blame them. I think all of us are extremely visual people. Because, Snapchat's a very visual platform. Instagram's a very visual platform. Pinterest, who's here on Pinterest? Yeah, do you buy stuff off of Pinterest? Do you click buy and?
No, but.
Not yet?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Exactly, right? I know my wife was on Pinterest all the time. I want this, everything. When you guys get married, watch, you'll be taking your Pinterest photos to the florist, your Pinterest photos to the designer, right? I want this kind of linen. I want it to go with this kind of decor. She's smiling. She's like, yes. Right? Am I right? That's when you'll be using Pinterest. Trust me. So that visual content, if the people that are putting it, those photographers, those linen companies, if they're not putting that kind of photos on Pinterest, how would you even come across them? You won't. Because there's just no other way that I'm going to get, because that's where you are at. That's where all the double pinning and, put it in my, whatever you do inside Pinterest, right? Boards. That's what you would do. I know I don't use Pinterest a lot. I feel guilty now. But I know what the platform does. We would hire people and say, upload all these photos to Pinterest, pin it, organize them, go pin other people's stuff, just pin all day. That's your job. Yeah, I know. That's your job. Literally. It's probably the most fun job for that person. So they don't have to do anything else, just pin all day. Our brain actually processes information that's visual 60,000 times faster. We would rather watch a video than read a 1,000-word blog post. Oh my, there's the whole class, right? You would just be like, I'm done with this, I got the content. How many of you are Audible subscribers? Well, you need to, as a marketing student, you need to go get Audible. My man over there. What do you do? What do you do?
All business books and stuff.
Awesome. Do you work somewhere now?
Huh?
Are you working somewhere now? Okay, good. It's awesome. I commend you because like I said, my 5-minute commute or my 15-minute commute, I got to consume content because I don't have time to sit down and go through all the articles. If I do, I will do that. But I'm consuming content on the way. I want summary content. I want books. I want everything else that I can fill my head with because I know that there's stuff out there that I still don't know and I need to get to it because, like I said, as a generalist, you got to know a lot of stuff about a lot of things. Every single industry, every single marketing tactics, even traditional stuff, I got to dabble in it because my customers are dabbling in it. I got to help them figure the right way to do things. And sometimes you got to learn things you never thought. I mean, as a social media person, don't ever think that you're not going to be doing content marketing. Don't ever think that you're not going to do video. At the end of the day, you're going to realize that everything is everything. Like you got to do video, you got to do social, you got to do content, you got to have ads. Because every social media platform has ads. Did you know that? That's the only way they're going to make money. Did you know that? Facebook is not free. How many of you own Facebook shares? Just random question. Nobody? That's good. Maybe something for us to put on our to-do list. I never thought it would be where it is today, but I should have. So here's like a circle. You could either look at that, would you rather tell somebody this is a circle by drawing a circle than to tell them this is a circle? Right? That takes a lot of time. Our brain would rather just look at a circle and say, that's a circle, I'm happy. Like I got it. That's what I mean by visual content. So YouTube, how many millions hours a day of content do you think people are consuming on YouTube? Give me a guess. Every day, how many millions of hours a day? Guys, there's no wrong answers. I mean, there might be a quiz. Anybody? Just take random guesses.
100?
Good guess. Okay, anybody else?
200.
200, I like this. Anybody else want to guess 300? Come on, 300, anybody else? Come on, give me more guesses. You, Rabia, how many hours? Huh?
A billion?
Nope, not a billion.
500?
More. 600, I think about 650 million hours of content is consumed. It's not produced. Every minute, there's 300 hours of content being uploaded. Every minute. Anybody here has a passion to create video content? Talk to Layla after class. She raised her hands, right? She's super passionate. Anybody else? You guys realize that all of you are walking around with cameras, right? Did you know that? that can do 4K videos. Anybody familiar with 4K? Yeah? We know we buy 4K TVs. Our phones can do, who's got iPhone 7? Everybody's got iPhones. I'm sure all the teenagers, everybody else go buy the latest. My nephew, exactly, he's got back ordered, like the next iPhone. We're all walking around with it, and you realize that we're all content creating machines. But we can if you wanted to, because we're technically doing it for our Instagram accounts, not knowing that you're doing it. Okay, so how many hours of video is consumed on Facebook video? Anybody? Come on. Guess. I want some guesses. I'm gonna let you guess. You're super quiet. How many hours of content is consumed on Facebook a day?
Is it less than YouTube or more?
It's less. Facebook videos just popping.
500?
No, just 100 million. 100 million hours, it's like nothing, right? 100 million hours a day. If you knew that there's 100 million hours of demand, would you create video content? Even if your boss said no. Do you know how many times I have to say yes when somebody else says no because they don't know the answer? Like, my job is to go show the numbers and let the numbers do the talking. Not what I feel like on Monday morning, right? Not my gut feeling. I don't care. Like, nobody's gut feeling ever gets you to the bank. The only thing is, like, I would tell you, there probably isn't an analytics class, but an analytics class is really, really important. I would urge all of you to learn Google Analytics. Anybody heard of this thing? Right? There's the free certification. When I graduated, when I was in school, I had to pay to become a certified Google Analytics. It's free. Everything is free with Google. I would honestly consider, I said, you, my man, I would really do it. Go ahead.
The instruction materials are on the D2 and 2, the big file, 78 pages, the Google Analytics certification.
You need it. And it's changing every day. I would be like, oh, this is not how I used to go do things. I mean, everything is changing. So if you don't even have a grasp at what's a session, what's a page view, what's a bounce rate, what's a conversion, and I don't mean to scare you with these words, by the way. By no means. Not at all. This is meant to really inspire you to want to say, you know what? I like this. I want to go learn more about this. I want to get that certification. I'm going to put that on my resume. And I'm going to go every freaking internship opportunity there, and they're going to probably consider you, because you have a certification, that you weren't forced to get it, than the ones who's got really great grades, but they don't even care about going and getting a certification. Being honest. I hire people, I'm rarely going to consider them. I'm not saying that a good school isn't really, I care about their actual experience. Did they ever work at an agency? Did they work doing a brand marketing campaign? I want to know the success of that. Because today, honestly, this is from CEO of HubSpot. He actually says this. The width of your wallet no longer really matters in marketing. It's the width of your brain. Did you know that? So big brands, big money, dump tons and tons of money into advertising, but little brands with little money and a really awesome creative, they're going to do well. That's what goes viral. You can't spend your money to get viral. You can't. Somebody doesn't like it, they're not going to share it. If nobody shares it, it didn't really go viral. So we're constantly creating content. You're testing content. So did you know that celebrities actually get paid to use Facebook? So Facebook actually pays big celebrities, influencers, everybody to use Facebook. So Michael Phelps was one of those folks. Do you know about that story? He got paid from Facebook like $2 million or something like that. $50 million Facebook put aside to pay people to use, because they want to grow that 100 million videos viewed a day to be more, 100 million hours of video. They want that to be more. And Facebook is going the direction of more and more video. Even Twitter is going the direction of more video. I get tons of emails about Facebook or Twitter actually pushing video, native video. So you're not putting a link to YouTube, you're actually uploading your video directly to Twitter and letting Twitter serve the video. Twitter's got to do it. They got to change. They got to change with the times. Because we all like video content. Pretty much everybody in this class raised your hand. So one of my topics was content marketing. Again, I think content marketing is the term that we use in the industry to basically say that you get the concept. as I said, our marketing landscape is changing. We got to get very cohesive. So if you're going to get cohesive, then you have to be very comfortable with all sorts of content. And we just generalize that thing into content marketing. That means that we're going to use content as the means to find the people that are looking for what we do. Anybody in sales here? Somebody's got to be selling something. What do you do?
Sell used machinery and equipment.
That's really interesting. Used equipment, what kind of equipment? I'm curious.
All kinds, like packaging, industrial, pharmaceutical.
Wow, okay. Yeah, no, I'm familiar with the used furniture equipment. Do you carry a machine called Hyson? Hyson?
Yes.
See, I know the brand. It's Hyson. Yeah, I'm familiar with it because I know people that do that. Used packaging, there's liquid packaging, non-liquid packaging. I've done campaigns around that. So tell me your sales process. Would you rather sell to a person who is interested in a Hyson machine than somebody who happens to work in a factory that needs a broken machine? Their machine broke, so you're going to sell them. Which one is easier? The one that's actually coming to you and says, I need this machine that you have, rather than a cold person that you got a list from God knows where and say, I'm going to go call all these people. Anybody else in sales? We hate those cold callers, don't we? Right? So as a marketer today, you understand that because you don't want to be called about buying a new car unless you really are in the market for a new car. So what we do is we would much rather sell to the person who's interested in hearing what we have to say than everybody else who doesn't care. We're just like, hey, that's my funnel. I'll show you about the funnel. This is the people that heard about me. They're going to like my content. They're going to take the very next step that I've designed. It's invisible to them, but I know exactly what they're going to do. And I'm going to make them buy at the end. Or some of these people are going to fall off my funnel. So you use all these kinds of content. Because some people like podcasts. Who's here podcasts? Everybody like? There you go. So the way to sell to you is probably not an infographic. I got to get through you to audio content. And I talked about video. And some of you might want, SlideShare on. You've been to SlideShare? Right? You're looking at presentations online? And you want to get that kind of content because you want to download it, you want to analyze it. So the reason why we have to use content as the primary thing. So today salespeople use content. Marketing people use content. Trade shows we're selling with content. We don't ever want to push anything on them. We want to show them, hey, there's a better way. Would you like to learn more about XYZ? Because in your Facebook ads, when you become, whatever the jobs that you take on, people start targeting you based on your titles and your company size and the revenue of your company, you'll start seeing ads in your LinkedIn that says, here's 5 ways to improve XYZ. I get all kinds of ads. Improve efficiency. How do you hire people? The way to hire people. This kind of analytics tool, that kind of analytics tool, agency owner tool, because it's all based on my title, the revenue of the company, the location of employment, all the things that they know about me. Because guess what? 70% of the buyer's journey, which I showed you, is already done by the time you go to Best Buy and then you want to buy that TV. Because they already know what TV you're going to buy. We already know because we know which car we're going to buy. I saw a study from Google about car buying. Anybody bought a car in the last year? Okay, what'd you get? I'm just interested. Which one? Dodge? Charger. It's a nice car, a lot of power. Anybody else? Love it. Anybody else? Okay, so did you go online and check reviews about the car?
Months.
You didn't just walk into Nissan dealer and say, give me an Altima, I'm going to get out of here in 5 minutes. No? Hell no. There's 900 interactions tracked about that purchase on average for everybody that's buying a car today. 900 interactions. Google search, Auto Trader, whatever website, Altima's website, you go 5 different dealerships if you had. Did you do that? Yeah, exactly. I thought I was the only one that does that. Right, you go everywhere, find where the best deals are. TrueCar, you guys ever use that TrueCar app? Right, that's a cool app. Knowing how much other people are buying cars for. You were going to say something?
Oh, no.
Yeah, so we already know more information, that point about information abundance. It's already true. You already know about other people buying Dodge Charger for and how much it is. And you probably even know who has this exact car in the lot.
I had to go to Lincoln, Illinois to get it.
There you go. Who's got the power today? Is it the seller or the buyer? So is our jobs harder? Is it, right? Your machine packaging sales job, it's not that easy. So is your company actually actively doing anything online to get traffic and leads and make the phone ring so it makes your life easier?
Well, we've just started hiring a marketing group that's doing content stories, and then they're posting that on
Don't hear from me, hear from her.
different magazines or business, like online
Okay.
sources, so that people can read about like machinery and interest them, and then from there, if they want to buy from us, then they'll go to us.
Because of this very same thing.
Yeah.
Because consumer already consumed the content that she's putting out there, and they know that you sell such and such machine, and then they're going to call you when they're really ready. They're going to get the boss on the phone and say, hey, there's this $40,000 machine. Can we make this work? Because I know they have exactly what I want, right? Mm-hmm. Is it used, right? You said it's used.
Used and
You got new too, exactly. They even know it's going to save me a couple of bucks because it's used. And that you have it. Do you upload photos of the products online?
yeah, there's a page for everything with photos and a description
That's awesome.
and videos.
What do you think the photos and the descriptions are?
That's what attracts the customers.
It's content. What do you think the photos of descriptions of his stuff on Shopify, what do you think that is? It's content. What kind of a product is it, if you don't mind me asking?
It's a beading shop, so we make jewelry, we also sell beads and charms, pendants, and everything else.
Cool. All right. So I talked about the funnel. This is kind of what a marketer has to deal with. You might have went through Dr. Sundaram's class about AIDA. Yeah, you remember that? It's like the is that still in the books?
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure because I put that in there just for you guys. That AIDA stuff, as much as you've learned, it's absolutely dead on. So love every minute of the class that you guys are in. I have all the books that I say. It's like 10 years old, but I still have them because look, man, some of those books were big. I got to be honest, they were big. Everything I bought, I used to rent, but everything I bought, I still have it because it was that relevant, and I used them beyond the course. So long story short, as a content marketer, which I told you, it's kind of like that big umbrella that we put people in, we start writing content and we fill it up. So she's taking great notes. I don't see anybody else taking notes. Okay, so we write all this awesome content and we want to fill our funnel with content because we know that's the people that are looking for what we do. Because how many searches are happening on Google every day? Can somebody give me an answer? How many searches are happening in a month?
Billions?
That's not a good answer. Give me an answer. How many? How many billions? It's an easy one. Just throw a number.
3.
3. Okay. Anybody else?
In a month?
In a month. Okay.
Half a trillion, 500 billion.
Anybody else?
100 billion.
Dead on. A little over 100 billion searches a month. Like 105. Now that's statistics change every day. There's a website that literally shows you every day how many searches Google happened today. There's a website just built on that. So people are looking, and so the kind of content you're going to put out is it's social content. You're going to put that little top of funnel, we'll call it the top of funnel content. So after this class, if you don't know what kind of content to create, you want to sound like a really smart marketer, you start talking about top of funnel content. They'll be like, whoa, what is that? Because this is the surface level content. It kind of shows that somebody's interested in what I do, but by no means they're ready to buy. Make sense? Because it's so broad that you need to get them in. And there's ebooks and downloads. Anybody ever bought anything for your company? That you actually had to go through this process? Find a company? Anybody? You did, right? What'd you buy?
At my last job, I was searching for kind of like supplies for shipping copper sheets, which get really easily damaged in transit, so I had to develop a plan to ship those. And I ended up talking with Chicago Mailing too.
I know that company actually. It's interesting. Yeah, they got those little tube thingies.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. And you want to find whether or not they did it, and they probably did some content marketing to get you in their funnel. You did some research. You found the company first that you want to do work with, but you weren't ready to buy, so you had to go through their funnel that they built, whether they're doing content marketing or not. This is what you would have to do. And so we have different pieces of content that we call top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel. As you see that when it gets to that action, when it gets to that really somebody taking their wallet out and paying you, it gets more and more like serious. Like they want to know comparison. How are you better than the other company? Are you going to give me a lifetime warranty, right? We start asking the tough questions like, what happens if this breaks down? My machine breaks down in 2 weeks. What am I going to do now? Because you really are worried about doing business with this company because they're strangers to you. So it gets more and more interesting. But if you didn't create bottom of funnel content, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to go to the guy who has the bottom of funnel content, right? I like that. This is like, finally, it's connecting. Because we go and say, this car had this bad review on YouTube. I'm not buying that Altima. I'm going to buy another one. Because I saw that the other car has better reviews. We would. You missed a lot, by the way. I'm sorry. So that's kind of how we would work, right? The content marketing thing I gave it to you. So I'm going to give you paid media because this is really exciting. All the money is spent on paid. So like I said, Google AdWords has a certification. If you want to learn that, doctor will tell you where that is in the study material. Okay? It's really, really important. Now this gets a little bit more complicated. The paid stuff definitely gets more complicated. It's one thing to be a generalist. If you're going to call yourself a paid media specialist, you have to learn a lot because there's so many moving parts. Like I said, every platform's got a paid something. So you're going to be buying ads in Facebook differently than you're going to buy ads in Twitter. You're going to buy ads on LinkedIn, which is going to be different than Google. Every transaction is different. Everybody has different metric, even inside Google AdWords. Because we are constantly changing the stuff to match our platform with that of Google, there's video ads. Video ads, you ever seen that YouTube where you're there's a skippable ad? You've seen that, right? You like the skippable ad?
Yeah.
I'll talk about that in a second. The skippable ad is very marketer friendly because you don't pay if you skip. Gentlemen, I know you skipped. What's your name? Yeah.
I'm right, Paul.
Paul skips ads all day long. And the person who's putting the ad is not paying every time Paul skips the ad. So it's very marketer friendly because I don't want to spend a bunch of money to show my ad to somebody who doesn't care. Because I want to measure. I even want to know how far they watched the video. Where did they leave? At what part of the video was it not exciting to them that they left? So paid ads is just for those that have no idea, because we all go to Google, we search stuff, not know. Everybody know about the paid, it's on the top, it says ad. Everybody here knows? I want to make sure you do. Yes? Everybody knows. Okay. It's not like it's biased or anything. It doesn't mean like it's not going to be good results, because if you're on the marketer side, if you have irrelevant landing page, if you have poor quality content and people bounce, you actually get penalized and you don't get to show up on the top of the ads. Google does not want to mess with their actual users. Their users is what brings them money. It's not, they don't even care. You know what percentage of Google's revenue is directly from paid ads? Anybody here?
Like 90%, 80%.
Yeah, pretty up there, 95%.
Yeah.
Pretty much that's the only thing that makes Google any money. Everything else is loss leaders. And if you don't know what loss leaders are, ask your professors. Everything else is loss leader. That's the only thing that makes them money. And that's how they've made everything. Literally everything. So I kind of will tell you the progression of how the paid ad media, how it came about. So back in the day, Yahoo was the first one to basically introduce pay per impression. So you're just like, if your ad was shown to the consumer, you have to pay. It's pay per 1,000, CPM. Every 1,000 impressions, I want money. That's like the billboard thing. I don't care how many cars go through here, you owe me $5,000. I'm Clear Channel, I'll tell you how to do business. I don't care if people buy your product, you're gonna pay me $5,000 for that billboard ad. Anybody here pay even attention, remote attention to the billboard ad? Maybe, if you're stuck in traffic, yeah, exactly. Sometimes you have to, just building awareness, and you really don't care, I'll buy a billboard ad. But if I really want to measure every freaking thing about my $5,000 spend, I wouldn't do billboard ad, because Clear Channel isn't going to send me a report. They're just not. They want my check, not a report. So A little bit down the line, Google got the idea of pay-per-click from another company called GoTo. They were the first ones to do it. And they really started to build what's called AdWords. And the first round of AdWords was really managed by Google. You couldn't really do it yourself. And then later on, they rolled it out as self-service AdWords platform, which is still AdWords today, but it's absolutely evolved like 100 times. And then 2009, YouTube came out with your favorite ad, which is the skippable ads. Extremely marketer friendly. You know, even pay-per-click is a marketer friendly. You don't pay until somebody clicks on your ad. And if they don't click on your ad, they know it's for the wrong reason, so they're also gonna not show your ad because they want to get clicks, right? It's both. If there's no engagement, they're not gonna show the ad. And then Facebook, you guys know about pay-per-lead ads? So basically, you might have seen this thing where it says, like, learn more or something, and a little pop-up comes out in your Facebook. It has your first name, your last name, and your email filled in. You just say submit. You seen that ad in Facebook? Okay. It's a new format of ad inside Facebook. Facebook is pretty much the first one to do it at the scale that we're in right now. So it could be anything. If you are interested in whatever product or services, and you see an ad inside Facebook, it's completely native. You don't leave Facebook. That's the thing. Landing pages, you're actually leaving Facebook, going to a landing page, and then you got to go back to Facebook. Facebook doesn't want that. That's why Facebook wants native videos. They don't want you to leave and go to their competitor, YouTube. They want to keep you inside Facebook. So the product is called Facebook Leads Ad. And this is probably going to be the biggest thing. This is going to be the biggest game changer because they're basically saying, screw you to all the other guys and all their inventions and say, I'm going to go for complete performance. And if I don't deliver you somebody's interested contact name and email address, I don't get paid. Do you like that? How would you like to be the marketer and say, here's the bottom line. I found you 150 leads. Here's the contact information. Pay me more. I'm telling you guys, there's a shortage out there. But all the stuff that I talked about isn't really easy, right? It's like another degree in itself. I know you guys went through 4 long years, but it's another degree. So I think this is where the whole world is going. It's all going towards performance. All our jobs are going to have some sort of performance on it, saying, yes, I will come to work 8:30 in the morning and I'll work until 6 o'clock, but that's not all. It's also tied to some sort of performance. It's like a salesperson. They got to move machines. So people want to make sure that if you as the digital marketer isn't the best digital marketer, they got to find somebody who can. And that means that we're always on our toes. We're always learning more information. I don't learn all this information because like I have all this free time. Because I've been doing this for too long. I had a lot more hair when I started. That's what I like to think. Maybe the professor will tell you. So SEO, like I said, SEO, I know you performed SEO in your old job or your personal website. It's getting really, anybody like to code here? Nobody liked to code. Damn it, that was not the answer I was looking for. I know there's a computer science degree here. My brother did computer science. Huh? Nobody here likes to code? Nobody. Yes, folks, I'm sorry to break it to you. The language that you should learn is not Spanish, it's not Chinese, it's computing. That's the language you want to send your kids to. Code. Get your hands dirty on Shopify. I'm telling you right now. It's going to pay you. It's going to pay you back because developers do cost a lot of money. There's a shortage of developers. In fact, if you can't get a digital marketer, you can't even find a developer because they're working for Groupon or Google or somebody like that. So I told you my nephew, he's actually going to DePaul and he's doing computer science. He's in high school right now. I told him, are you sure you want to do computer science? He's like, I'm pretty darn sure I want to do computer science. Pretty darn sure. I didn't convince him. I would have told him to do business school. I'd just be like, do business school, man. It's easy. SEO, so got to get your hands dirty. Because if Google cannot crawl your website, you have no chance of getting indexed. If your mobile, like 300 pixel wide iPhone preview is not just perfect, people are abandoning it, you're not going to show up on the top. They want to show the best darn results. So I did a quick search on NEIU. It's my school. I told you guys, I'm super excited to be back. I'm humbled. I was in your shoes. I had no idea what pay-per-click was when I was sitting just like you guys. If somebody came up and said, what the hell was pay-per-click? I would be just as lost. I'd be like, I have no idea. Because I didn't start doing pay-per-click ads. I started building websites. Not this Panera. I used to go to Evanston Panera and I built a whole website sitting in a Panera. It was for a CPA. I was done. I said, here's a freaking website. Churned it out, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to business. That's how I started. I literally had no idea what I was doing. And then fast forward a couple years, the people that I was building websites for asked me, dude, you build all these websites, but I'm not getting any money. I'm not getting any customers. What the hell was with that? Like, I paid you all this money, whatever it was at the time. I mean, I was cheap. Let me tell you, I was cheap. I was literally free. Because I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how much to charge either. I never worked for an agency. Nobody ever told me what the market rate was. I'm a lot more informed now than I was then. And so I did. And then that's what led me to all the stuff that I had to learn today, is my mistakes and not knowing exactly what was going on. And people were asking me, I need to generate leads. I'm a lawyer. I need customers. I don't need a website. In fact, that's the same question. Actually, much more. They're going to be like, I need leads, and I'm going to give you 30 days. So I did a quick search. So this thing that you're seeing on the right-hand side is all SEO, by the way. It's called a knowledge bar. Have you ever seen that? When you look for a bakery, you see the photos and the hours. It says they're closed. They even tell you how far it is from where you're physically located. Have you seen that? You've seen it, but you didn't even recognize it, right? It's so native. It's so beautiful. That's all because Google knows exactly the name of it. It's a school, it's organization, where you're located to where that is. If it's a publicly traded company, they'll show you the stock symbol. And what is it trading for right now today? Who is the CEO of the organization? When was it established? What are their hours? What is the review, average review? The most recent reviews? How do they know that? How do they know that? Anybody? You. It's all content, yes. Google crawls it. And as an SEO, you basically have, well, first of all, they crawl everything in the internet, like everything. Everything that can be crawled, they'll crawl it. And it knows what's going on. It knows the physical location. You're claiming your Google My Business, so they know you're physically located in such and such place. It knows the phone number. It knows the CEO because there's information about it. Even it can go to your About page and show you who's the information. And as you're coding the website, there's something called structured data. That you said, this is what this is. You tell Google, this is my physical location. This is my latitude and longitude. And Google can make so much sense out of that information in the code. So if you don't get down and dirty with the code, you're not going to be able to see that stuff. And this is where it's all going. In fact, what this means is that people aren't even clicking onto the website to go to NEIU's website. Because if I don't go to the website, NEIU's Google Analytics isn't going to show me that traffic. Do you get what I'm saying? They didn't even hit the website. Because the user already got the information that they were looking for. They're already moved on to the next thing. Because in my buyer's journey, I'm just looking to get the information and move on. I'm not going to go through every program it has. I just needed to do a quick search. Google's making it easier, but it's harder for the marketer to get more visitors to come to my website now because they already got what they wanted. Google's first page results even shows you stories. It'll show you Twitter feed. It'll show you the latest news off of a PR web or something like that. It's got everything I need right on the first page. In our industry, we have a joke, all right? Where do you bury a dead body? It's a good one. Huh?
Yahoo.
No, that's a good one.
On the second page of Google.
Yeah, he deserves a round of applause. Give him a round of applause. Yes. Because we don't ever go to the second page of Google. We don't. So as a marketer and you're doing SEO, where do you think you want to be at?
Number
1, 2, 3 gets the most clicks, yes. And it kind of goes down below that. Is this stuff useful to you guys? Do you learn a lot? Yes? Maybe? So we're sitting in this kind of world where it's no longer us searching on mobile even. It's not even the desktop, it's not the mobile. We're reaching the voice search. Did you know that? Who's got one of these Amazon Echoes in your house? Anybody got it for Christmas? Got the little dash, the little one?
My dad got one for my mom for Christmas.
Exactly. Does she use it?
for music mostly, nothing
Pretty
crazy.
good. You can tell. Alexa, turn on the timer for 10 minutes. She'll do it. She'll keep you. Alexa, play my last radio station. It'll do that for you too. Skip it. Play my Spotify. Whatever you want it to do, she'll do it for you without even raising your hands. And everything you want to search for, Google results, it'll read you the news. It's like a radio. It'll read the news to you. It's not playing the radio. It'll read the news. Here are the top headlines. I feel like you know what I'm talking about, right? You heard it, seen it? You see TV commercials. This is where it's going. OK Google. Who's got OK Google? On your Android phones, right? And that voice search is going up like skyrocket. It's more than the text search. In fact, on Google, I was on Google a second ago. Have you guys paid attention to the little button here, the little mic? Yeah, that's what it is. That's for kids. They're going to use that more. They're not going to use the mobile phone. Everything is going to be touchscreen. And I think there's like 2 more sections, guys, and we'll be done. Long story short, authority. If you want to build authority, you want to make sure you're a thought leader. And that's exactly what companies really want. They want to make sure that they want to deal business with companies that are thought leaders, the ones with the most Facebook followers. And you guys understand that. Big follower base, you'll probably buy their product, right? And as far as emails goes, we hate emails to some extent. I unsubscribe most of the emails, but I do want emails from the brands that I like. I want to get emails from the brands that I like. And for those brands, you're going to get $38 in return for every dollar invested. So if your boss gives you $50, you could literally make 40 times that if you do it right. And for you to do it right, you have to use segmented list. Extremely segmented gives you a lot more return than just broadcasting email to everybody in your audience. Because they don't care, they're going to unsubscribe, and it's going to hurt your reputation as an email company. I know you said you're going to do emails, but you got to make sure you know what you're doing. Because you can do more damage than good if you do it wrong. Everything is art, guys. It's art and science. There's a lot of science, tons of art. Because the way that I'm going to get you to open my email is through my creative headlines and my subject line and my from address and everything else. So I got like 3 things that are takeaway for you guys. So to reach today's consumers, it's called always there. It's the first thing. You got to make sure you're across all devices, across the whole web, across all day, all times, at every stage of the buying journey, and you know everything about the buying journey. So if I quiz you, you're going to know everything about that. You have to be extremely relevant because you want search results to be relevant to what you search for, right? Otherwise, you would never go back to Google. It's got to be relevant to location. Ads are location relevant. Location relevant to the individual, relevant to the intent. And the thing that I do the most is the attribution. I want to know and I want to evaluate, I want to optimize what's working because we're doing so many different things. I covered so many different, it's like it could have been 5, 6 different courses for you guys. And if you're doing all of that as a marketer, you really want to make sure that you're optimizing and attributing to what's working, what's not. And that's a hell of a job. So this is a saying that I like to say, and this is how you're all going to get jobs, big jobs, is that if sales is the lifeblood of a business, who believes that? If you don't make any revenue, you don't have a job, right? You don't have a business. And then marketing is the oxygen. And that means that with all the billions and billions being spent every single day, somebody's got to manage all that. There's a shortage. I don't think there's a surplus of candidates out there. I think it's going to take the right candidate. It doesn't even matter whether or not, like I said, this is one of those industries. You just have to be really analytical. You got to be very good. You got to be committed. I kind of don't have a work-life balance. I don't. But I know this is what I do. I used to say, like, if this is fun to you, you don't call it work. It really is. So, I like to say this is like our platform. This is what people saw. I showed you all the things that companies are doing, content, paid, everything. And then you kind of don't know what is driving the results. Because your bosses might be happy that whatever Solomon's doing, it's working. I'm making money. But Solomon doesn't know what the hell is working. Right? It's the marketing black box. Like we like to say, that's what we're here to solve as the platform. So that's what the platform will help you do, or we hope it will do, because that's what we're working on. And that is not an easy thing at all. Like I said, I love interns. If you guys are interested, we do have internship We only have a couple of spots, so interested by all means. That's all I had for you guys. Thank you. I really, really, really appreciate it.